Apologies for the wait, my wonderful viewers. It's time to get started with more solo leveling Ragnarok. So let's go ahead and get this party started right, shall we? I don't know why it just skipped over an entire chapter after I unlocked it. That was actually very weird. Let me get it down to the normal one. Here we go. Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. I got brunch being made downstairs. The family is making brunch right now, so I'm going to try and get through this chapter. And hopefully we can get through the whole chapter without me having to step away in the middle of it. Last we left out on solo leveling. Well, Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to more of solo leveling Ragnarok. We had a wonderful chapter last week where Suho was clashing against the Apostle, and the Apostle couldn't fully comprehend just the capabilities that Suho was using for himself, such as shadow enhancement and being able to even transfer his skills to his own shadows to deliver unorthodox combinations that the Apostle never saw Jin use. You know, the darkness. So, all that happens, Suho manages to body the Apostle, without much problem, especially with shadow enhancement. And we see as the control over Lee Min-sung is being loosened to the point where Lee manages to gain control of himself, albeit his jaw is broken because of Suho. And Lee Min-sung is preparing to try and fight Suho before, Suho lands a very solid punch against him. Now, Lee Min-sung saying he's going to be the villain. If all else fails, I might as well be the villain. And Suho just delivers such a solid punch, it pretty much just obliterates everything beyond Lee in this instance. So this is where we start with chapter 42. And Suho is landing that same punch on Lee Min-sung. And Lee immediately starts coughing up blood while his body flops over Suho. Mind you, his body is still transfigured larger than Suho, so it just drapes over his shoulder a little bit while he's coughing blood. And Suho, oh, did he just punch straight through him? I thought that was meant to illustrate he punched him so hard that a shockwave went through his body and out the back. But no, it's showing Suho's arm going, apparently dripping in blood and possibly going straight through Lee, as the skin of the Apostle is starting to break around Lee Min-sung, and we get Lee Min-sung's face underneath as it completely shatters. And mind you, Lee Min-sung's jaw is still very much broken, so he can't, audibly speak as well, as he's going, that finishing blow hurt like heck. On top of that, my broken jaw won't even let me say any last words. When that alien first came to me, I thought I was getting my big chance to fix this broken world. But look where it's gotten me now. As it shows, the feet of Lee, and there's more blood just pooling and starting to drop from him. My life's been going to crap ever since the cataclysm. Darn it. As he's thinking of Lim Tae-gyu, saying, come work with me, Min-sung. Why does his face have to be the last thing I remember? Don't look down on me. I'm Lee Min-sung, the superstar. As Lee is still smirking, despite his jaw being broken, him still having sharp teeth because his body was transfigured, and he's bleeding out. I'm Lee Min-sung, the superstar. So, why is this brat looking at me with such pity? Because this is the first human that Suho has killed. And while he's looking at Suho, whose eyes look horrified that he had to do this, his arm drops to his side. Notification. You have gained experience points. Level up. Quest info. Urgent quest. Eliminate Lee Min-sung, the Apostle of Iterim. Lee Min-sung has been possessed by the Apostle of Iterim. Defeat him to gain access to his memories. Enemies to defeat. 1 of 1. Quest complete. And it shows Suho kneeling next to Lee Min-sung, who has a giant gaping hole straight through his chest. And we see I do like the detail of, you see the hole is so clear and so thorough that you see the red underneath him of where his body is bleeding through that hole as blood starts to, pool from his body. And then but Suho's not saying anything, while Essel, Gray, and Beru are all like, "Young master! You did it! You defeated the Apostle of Iterum, young master!" But Suho's not saying anything. Remember, this is the first human he's killed, ever. He smiled at the very end. I wonder if that was Lee Min-sung's true self and not the Apostle of Iterum. And we see more and more of the Apostle's transfiguration starting to disappear from his body, if not, hold on. I'm pressing buttons I shouldn't. No, his body's still transfigured. We just see the lifeless body of Lee Min-sung there. It's not like we shared a deep conversation, but I could tell that he was the type of person to remain true to his ambitions. This is the first time the young master has had to kill one of his own. It seems he's still in shock. Lee Min-sung helped me realize something. Ever since I awakened as a player, I've been fixated on finding my mother and becoming strong enough to be useful to my father. I don't have any goals that I've set for myself. Because it shows Cha on one spot and Jin on the other. This is what Lee Min-sung must have meant when he told me I lacked a sense of self. I suddenly remembered the last fight I had with my father at the end of my tutorial, and while I was awed by my father's power, I was also... And it shows the time during the special episodes. It shows the special episodes of solo leveling before we got Ragnarok. Showing him fighting Jin, and Jin just showing just how vast the difference is between his strength and those of his son. I know he's the enemy, but I can't help but be impressed. I wish I could be as strong as he is! This is back in time. And while I was awed by my father's power, I was also, as much as I was desperate to win. Oh, wait, no, that's not the continuation. And while I was also, and then it just went through the flashback, as much as I was desperate to win, I think I was more frustrated than anything. At a certain point, my father became this larger-than-life figure beyond my reach. That can be said from anyone's perspective that isn't directly connected to Jin. So I've never been able to say this out loud, but I think I can say it now. It's good to dream big, you know? And then it just shows Suho looking at everyone, and everyone's kind of confused about what he's meaning. And then it shows Suho just pointing his finger upwards. He's got a long finger. I want to become the strongest being of all time. What? Okay, that's a big goal. Hold up! Suho! We need to talk here, Suho! Put my phone on silent so it doesn't blip again. His goal is to become the strongest being of all time. That's a big goal! It's good to dream big, you know? I want to become the strongest being of all time. He is right, though. It is good to dream big. I want to become a channel so large that 100,000 people seems like nothing. And I know, and just like Suho, I'm going after my goal. So far, so good. I'm just saying. I want to become the strongest being of all time. I want to be stronger than the Apostle of Iterum, the monarchs, strong enough to even surpass my own father. I've decided that this will be my sense of self.
Young master.
And even Beru's all like, ugh. It'll be impossible, of course, but I'll be cheering you on regardless, young master. And then Essel goes,
It would be quite a challenge to surpass your father.
Jeez, thanks for all the words of encouragement, guys. Well, I guess I can see why they'd be skeptical. Let's just check my rewards. I mean, that is, look, Jin is him in every sense of the word. This man is fighting celestial beings by himself. Even now, he's doing that all on his own, to the point where every other apostle is all like, I'm in awe of his absolute power. That is going to require a lot more power than Suho has right now. Remember, Jin is an individual that the ruler said, like, hey, we know you did everything here, and we know you got all this power. Would you be willing to go to another world since there's no real use for your power here? And Jin's all like, no, I think I'm going to stay here. Unless you think you can make me go. And there was all like, hey, you do what you want. When you got celestial bodies who are all like, we ain't messing with this. You got power. And Suho wants to surpass even that. Oh! Oh, you got some lofty dreams, boy. Mine of 100K subscribers, and that's just a thought is way easier in comparison. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I can see why they'd be skeptical. Let's just check my rewards. Notification! Your quest rewards have arrived. You have gained experience points. Level up, level up. You have reached the required level. A job change quest has arrived. Will you accept the job change quest? A job change quest? I guess you're allowed to change job change job or change jobs. I guess you're allowed to change jobs once you hit level 40. Stats. Name. Sung Suho. Level 40. Job. None. Fatigue. 0. Title. Wolf Slayer. HP. 8250. MP. 780. Strength. 124. Vitality. 60. Agility. 49. Intelligence, 49. Perception, 54 plus 5. Available ability points, 4. Passive skills, tenacity level 3. Hand-to-hand combat level 1. Strength booster level 1. Active skill, the commander's authority level 2. Level 2. I wanted to keep the inflection, keep going there. The commander's authority level 2. Shadow extraction level 2. Slashing storm level 1. Looks like I'll finally get a job to fill out that blank space in my stats. And then there's this doom as we cut to Suho standing there and someone's looking at Suho through hands, and someone has their hands directly up to Suho behind him. And they start zooming farther and farther and farther away from Suho. This is Park Dojin, isn't it? It is, because Park has flown there himself a couple miles away from the mountain because he's literally zooming in on Suho, watching everything go down. I underestimated him. I never imagined that this masked hunter would have this much potential. We won't let you get away. This is a skill that I was able to regain after 3 of my pieces were reunited. The scale of equal exchange. It's the power to exchange my possessions for something of equal value. And it shows all the hunters that went to the dungeon where they were looking for Lee. And then all of a sudden, someone's eye starts gleaming. And it's someone who has apparently taken both of these hunters have apparently taken Stardust, and they start to fall under the Apostle's control. I gotta sneeze. Sorry. It's the power to exchange my possessions for something of equal value. And their eyes start shining and getting veiny. I can use this power to exchange the life force of nearby followers for mana. And all of a sudden, numerous hunters around another hunter, they just start dropping dead. So if you've been taken over by the apostle, it kind of functions the same way as Yuhabaha's Ashvalin, where their life force just forcibly gets ripped from them in exchange for Yuha gaining more power. This is the same thing. I can use this power to exchange the life force of nearby followers for mana. And this person's just watching all of her people that have taken Stardust, and they're just losing their lives. And then Park immediately gets empowered by all this extra mana. I believe it went something like this. And then Park starts clasping his hands together and looking like he's moving his hands in the akin to that of a bow, and he creates a yellow bow of light with a stone of Iterim as he appears like he's about to shoot Suho. And then Beru goes, "Well then, young master, I'll start searching Li Mensung's memories for information on the Apostle of Iterim." Thank you, Beru. As Beru looks like he's about to eat the body of Li Mensung. Was Li Mensung lashing out against our post-cataclysm world? If I hadn't awakened as a player. And then there's a stabbing. Ooh! Give me a sec. I'm being called. Okay. So I just had to step away because while Suho's going, if I hadn't awakened as a player, and there's a stabbing sound effect as Suho's entire left side of his torso gets shot through immediately. And Essel and Beru and Gray are shocked to see Suho get injured like this. An attack? Where the heck did it come from? As it shows Park is in the air, having just shot Suho. And he's smirking as that same yellow stone he's used to take control of monsters starts spinning inside the wound of Suho as Suho starts screaming out. Ah! My mind, it's like something's invading my thoughts. Permanent effect. Health and longevity. You are immune to all diseases and poisons. Your recovery rate will receive a massive boost while you sleep. 3, 2, 1. System recovery failed. Effect. Health and longevity is analyzing the source of the error. 3, 2, 1. Effect. Health and longevity has identified the source of the error as misburn infection. Effect. Health and longevity will use the data available on misburn infection to address the error and recover the system. 3, 2, 1. Recovery failed. The system has been compromised by an outer realm source. Effect. Health and recovery will use the data, and it keeps repeating. It keeps repeating. 3, 2, 1. Recovery failed. Recovery failed. Recovery failed. 3, 2, 1. And then Park is just in the air smiling, going, with this, The authority of the darkness is ours. Until what is happening? Because Park's eyes immediately widen.
3, 2, 1. Error analysis complete. System recovery has been activated by Effect Health and Longevity. Commencing system recovery.
As Suho starts to get back up, while Gray, Essel, and Beru are looking bewildered and sweating bullets because they're scared.
Was the conversion interrupted?
Young master, are you all right?
Now that health and longevity skill has been activated, I need to use my shadow to seal off my wound. I need to. And then it just shows while Beru, Gray, and Essel are crying and shouting over Suho, who possibly can't even hear it right now, his health starts dropping. My HP keeps falling. If this keeps up, I need to do something. And then he just clicks yes, because remember, he didn't accept the job change quest yet. And he just hits yes.
Will you accept the job change quest? Notification. Your job change quest starts now.
And a portal opens up directly in front of Suho.
Only the player is allowed to enter the job change quest. Companions, the Monarch's heirs, will be transported to the Shadow Realm to ensure they will not interfere with this quest.
And then it just shows Essel, Beru, Gray, and Park watching this portal open up. Suho struggling to move as there's a gigantic flash above the mountaintop where Suho is. And then it's dark. Oh, it's dark. I'm saying it's dark. And then Suho's thinking, it's dark. I can't see anything. Am I dead? It hurts. I can feel something on my cheek. The wound in my stomach doesn't hurt anymore, so I guess I survived. That means... And a torch lights itself. And Suho stands up, wiping the sweat away. And then, while he's sitting there, his eyes get wide because Suho is inside the same corridor those years ago when I read through the special chapters, the special episodes. Suho is back in this training corridor again. Hey, isn't this to be continued? And then the next chapter we get next week. Ladies and gentlemen, Suho has just gained access to a new job quest that, one, not only saved his life because Park was trying to... Here's the thing. I was getting scared when Park shot that shard, that apostle shard, that ruler shard, whatever you want to call it, that interim shard. I'm going to call it that. That interim shard into Suho, blew a portion of his stomach away, and then tried to use it, like the way he was spinning it inside Suho's body. He tried to steal the power of the Shadow Monarch from him. But even after the system had multiple errors, it learned to combat this. So now Suho has a way of combating Mistburn infection. Hold on, let me come back up here. Yeah, there it is right there. Error analysis complete. System recovery has been activated by Effect Health and Longevity commencing system recovery, which means that the Mistburn effect is not going to work on Suho anymore because his system has analyzed it, recognized it, and knows how to disrupt it. So that's what happened in today's chapter. Not only that, but Suho has made it after, killing Lehman Sung and dealing with the fact that he's killed another person. He has resolved himself to a new personal goal, which is essentially to surpass his father. Now, I don't go on the solo leveling wiki that gives you all the info of how strong Jin actually is. I just remember that Jin, as a kid, decided, you know what, I'm going to be gone for like a couple of months, disappear for a couple of months, take on after I restart this world, I'm gonna disappear from my family for a couple of months. They're gonna wonder where I am, but during this time, I'm going to go to the realm of the monarchs and kill all of them so that they never pose a threat to this world. And I'm gonna spend all of that time in there to the point where my hair grows out long. And then I'm going to come back and enjoy the rest of my childhood and life without any interruption from the monarchs or gates or anything of that nature. Not only that, this is the same individual that basically beat an entire race of planet-consuming titans and just killed all of them. Watching you while playing solo leveling Arise. Look, Ramil, I am just waiting on a solo leveling game to come to consoles. Not a fighting game, not a turn-based game, a game that lets me feel the true power of solo leveling without it being built like a gacha and therefore limiting in that respect. I'm just waiting for the day. But this is the same person that basically eradicated an entire race of planet-consuming titans. And now this is also the individual who is literally going to other universes and fighting an entire collection of cosmic level gods. Cosmic level gods. And Suho wants to surpass this person. I want to become the strongest being of all time. That's like if Sun Wukong had a child, and that child says, I want to become stronger than even my father, Sun Wukong. And given the fact that Sun Wukong is one of the, if not the most overpowered fictional character in existence, that's a big goal. But also, I really do like the fact that the system seems to have gone beyond what. Also, Kitty, it's good to see you as well. Ramil, good to see you. And CD's good to see you. Cohagen, as always, good to see you as well. Don't worry, we're going to be picking up with more Doom the Dark Ages at 2 o'clock. So we are definitely going to be messing around with that. Kitty, if you're able to stop by, fine. If not, please continue to rest because I know you've been busy. What about Zeno? Zeno? So should want to be Zeno from Dragon Ball Super? When you say Geno, I think, is he trying to say Genos from One Punch Man? He's strong, but he's not the strongest being of all time. But if you mean Lord Zeno, as in the ruler over all multiverses, it's Zeno. If you mean Zeno in Dragon Ball Super, I mean that's also another tier to try and reach as well. So he's kind of, Suho's got some good goals, but also Park was so sure he was all, well, one, we learned that if you, I don't know, man, it's all good, don't worry, I remember the names, but Park was so sure that, one, Doom Time may make it, hey, only if you are able, don't force yourself, okay? You already know. But, one thing we learned from the Apostle is that if any person has been taking Stardust, which is, for those who don't know, the drug that allows lower rank hunters to reach up higher ranks in terms of power, you're essentially able to have your very life force ripped from you in order to empower himself. I hated that they tried to overpower Jin. I refuse to accept that they're trying to overpower Jin. Here's the thing. It's like Boruto being better than Naruto. Here's the thing. It's not even a matter of them trying to overpower Jin. That's Suho's goal. But his goal is going to be incredibly difficult to overcome. It's like Baki. Okay? We know Baki's an incredibly strong fighter. Yet, in the end, he still gets bodied by his dad, who is the strongest person in the entire series. So I feel it's pretty much more like that situation. Not a matter of, oh, I'm going to surpass my dad and anything, and it's like Boruto being better than Naruto. But we watch Naruto and Jin suffer from nothing to god tier level. But here's the thing, though. Solo leveling Ragnarok does not give us a character who's basically a genius, and he's cocky, and can also be insufferable. That's the difference. We actually like Suho. We didn't have to deal with him growing up and thinking that his father was trash, or like, oh, my father's never here, so I'm gonna lash out like a disobedient delinquent because my father doesn't give me all the attention, even though he's the leader of my entire village and there's more lives to care about than just my own. We're not dealing with that with Suho. Suho actually cares about his dad, and once he realizes the situation that his father's in, he actually doesn't mind. He actually doesn't mind that what his father's doing. He wants to get stronger so he can help his dad. That's the difference. You actually root for Suho because he's actually a good kid. He's actually a good teenager. I can say kid because I'm older than him, but he's actually a good kid. So I'm not really concerned about them trying to pull a Boruto where the people from the last generation get overshadowed by the people of the newer generation. This isn't that type of story, thank God, because Boruto really did that to a whole bunch of people who were, overpowered. And then they get sidelined because this newer generation has to be stronger than everyone else. So let's make everyone weak in comparison and, kind of downplay their achievements a little bit. That just feels like Boruto to me. The thing about Jin is they can overpower him because he's that strong. We've seen his journey. Yes, here's the thing, though. Jin has been described by an apostle of Iterum as he is literally just called the Darkness. They don't know his name, they just know him by the power he wields. He's the Darkness. I've been captivated by his absolute power. Suho will need to get to that level if he thinks he's going to ever surpass his dad. And considering his dad soloed every monarch before him, every single one. Keiresha, Yogumunt, the Iron Body, what is it? Tarnok, and the strongest one being Antares, and the Beast Monarch, and the Frost Monarch. All of these different monarchs, Jin soloed. And anyone that was sent against him got added to his ranks, meaning that Jin, it's not just Jin you got to worry about, okay? You ain't just gotta surpass Jin, you gotta surpass those that are beneath him, because those individuals surpass S ranks. Those joke from Belion, Beru when he had his full power, Belion, Igris, all of his other high-ranking shadows, them jokers is strong. So you're going to need to become stronger than even them. So here's my thing, though. I see this as a Baki situation rather than a Boruto situation, where two people can be seen as the strongest, but one have the title of strongest being of all time, yet one is still above the other. Baki was acknowledged as the strongest alongside Yujiro Hanma, but Yujiro Hanma is still the strongest in the entire series. He just shares that title with his son. I see it. In the same instance, another sneeze is coming, so I'm going to keep talking until it's done. Thank you. I see it as a Baki situation where Suho and Jin can have the title of, strongest, eventually maybe, but Jin is still the dude. So I see it as that. So I'm not worried about this story going in a direction of like Boruto. That's like the furthest thing from my mind, because at least power scaling still keeps in solo leveling, despite, this being from Jin's son's perspective. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you. But CDs, I wouldn't worry about like, oh no, Jin doesn't have to say he's the strongest. No, he doesn't. His actions speak louder than words. Jin never has to say, I'm the strongest one there is, because everything he does just encapsulates that. Everyone just know he is. Yeah, exactly. You don't even need to worry about Jin saying, I'm the strongest. We all know he's the strongest. The dude is fighting celestial bodies by himself. And everyone knows Jin is that guy. He is that man. He is him. He carries all of the power of the himness. That is just him. That's Jin. We don't need to acknowledge that Jin is the strongest. We've seen what he's been through. And the moment he gained access to the monarch's power, after almost being killed by the Beast Monarch, he has just gotten he essentially just stopped being ever close to death at all. He's been close to death his entire life until that one moment where he almost actually fully died. And then death was an option. It just became an option. So that's Jin. That's how strong he is. So now we have Suho, who wants to surpass even his father. That Joker's got a long way to go because Jin has been fighting these apostles for Iterim for I want to say, a good solid chunk of Suho's entire life. Ever since he became a teenager, Suho, I mean, Jin was around when he was a child, but it wasn't until he was like, middle school, maybe even high school, where Jin disappeared, Chahayan disappeared, and Jin has been fighting the entire time. He's been fighting the entire time, which means that his power has been growing all of these years. His army has been growing all of these years. Suho has decades. And I don't mean just normal decades. I mean decades in terms of entire lifetimes to catch up to Jin, because Jin spent an egregious amount of time in the domain of the monarchs, just killing all of them, adding all of their soldiers to his ranks. His army is nigh infinite. That's how vast his strength actually is. Don't forget the time distortion, because he was in high school when Jin was testing him to those fake gates. Decades is an understatement. Yeah. So Suho has a long way to go. He has an incredibly long way to go. Now, seeing as how Suho wants to surpass his dad, he's going to have to find the rest of the heirs of the monarchs. What shirt is that? This is from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this is just one of many shirts that I have. So Suho is going to have to get stronger than all of Jin's top-ranking shadows. He's going to have to find every single one of the heirs, and he's going to have to gain so much strength that it's capable of keeping up and even surpassing Jin. That's going to take forever. That's going to take always and forever. Try to surpass my dad. Every day. He's gonna be thinking that this whole time. but we'll see. He's got a long road ahead of him. Amut is gonna have to put this Joker through the ringer for months. Gotta go. Wish me luck, Kitty. Do what you gotta do. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here for myself. Where my boy Igris at? He's probably still with Jin as well, since Beru's here looking after the young master. But now Suho is looking to become stronger, and now he's got a job change quest now. He's got a job change quest. Can Jin beat Gojo? Because, Infinity and Six Eyes was Infinity. Infinity and the Six Eyes. Can Jin beat Gojo? I mean, Gojo has never been seen fighting celestial bodies. Even though his power is the power of infinity, he's never been seen fighting individuals who are capable of raising entire planets. Jin. I love Gojo. I really do. Hopefully we'll get an actual real Jujutsu Kaisen game where you get to play as Gojo, but Jin beats Gojo, even with the Infinity and Six Eyes. Even with both of that, Jin beats Gojo. But yeah, good chapter, and now Suho's about to have a job change quest, which means he's going to get more power, but he's still a long ways away from ever surpassing his dad. So we'll see there. Just freeze it, blow up the planet. Yeah, just blow up the planet, and Gojo's gone. Jin's power is absolute. So yeah, But yeah, this was a good chapter. I need to go ahead and eat my brunch here since it's still very hot. All I can say to everyone is thank you for tuning in to today's reaction to Solo Leveling Ragnarok. We are getting ever closer to when I will start reading the Solo Leveling light novel. And that'll be something I do during that'll be the first thing I do in June before I get my hands on my Switch. So look forward to the readings where we're reading, and it's going to be 10 chapters apiece. Don't worry, I still got to release a May update for you guys about what's basically in May and then going forward throughout the rest of the year. Because I did that for members, I still got to do that for all of you. But yeah, this is going to be June is going to be very fun for all of you. For members and for people who aren't members, it's going to be very fun for all of you guys. So yeah, but yeah, next week, let's check out and see what job change quest lies in store for Suho now. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. Will you do Ragnarok's light novel after Solo Leveling's novel? Not directly after. Not directly after. Because with the way things are changed up, I don't want to read the novel before I read the webcomic, because I prefer to read the webcomic first. But yeah, because I'm always looking... But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll cross it when we get to it. Because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always... Later, peoples!